We are starting soon.
Usually gotta wait 20 minutes to hear it anyway.
Oh! That could be on the next corn track.
Okay, AirPods have decided not to connect.
Starting soon.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Album Book Club. Tonight we are discussing the album Catch Without Arms by the band Dredg. You want to give us some... Well, let me introduce Alex first, and then he can give us
Hello.
some of the backstory on this album since he picked it for us.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of my favorite albums from childhood. I grew up listening to this album. Literally I rated it really, really high the whole time because it's probably not fair that I give these ratings. But I'm gonna do it because that's the premise.
So awesome. So that's great. Speaking of ratings, we'll go ahead and do our top
Wait,
three.
wait.
No?
I lost my phone. It's fucking gone.
Is it gone?
Have you tried calling it? Here, phone. Here, phone.
Where the fuck did my phone
Stand
go?
up and find it.
I'm about to.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, is that gonna like?
You were... He had it.
I'm an actual dumbass, bro. Somebody, that's going viral somewhere.
You'll see that
Hey,
on
the
Wednesday.
music's off again.
Are you shitting me?
I'll just go.
All right,
It's
yep,
fine.
let's go top three.
Top three.
Okay, my top three is Bug Eyes, Spit Shine, and Hungover on a Tuesday. Bug Eyes is that's like the big track off it. But yeah.
My top three are Catch Without Arms, Martoshka, and Zebra Skin.
You were muted. Do that again.
Oh, my top 3 were Catch Without Arms, Martoska, and Zebra Skin.
Yeah.
My top 3 are The Tan Bark is Hot Lava, Bug Eyes, and Hungover on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
What was...
How you guys
The Tan Bark is
doing?
hot one.
Music's back. Connor's gone. My top 3 are Sangreal, Planting Seeds, and Spitshine. Check out our new merch in the merch store.
Once I see this loop, we'll be all right.
Connor is vigorously sitting to make sure our music stays going. There's been a lot of technical issues this episode.
I'm really curious as if YouTube trolled me with the wrong song title.
No, it's they shortened it to Tan Bark, but the original track was called The Tan Bark is Hot Lava.
Okay.
Oh,
That was the
okay.
original title track. Or not, that was the original title of the track. But they shortened it as the years went on.
I kind of like the original title a little better, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
It's more interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. I forgot I was running Switcher. That's on me.
Oh, God. Speaking of Switcher, it's trying to run away. There we go. All right. My top 3, we'll pretend that didn't happen, is Tan Bark, Catch Without Arms, and Not That Simple.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. Looks like we had quite a few of the same songs on there, but a few we're going to differ on. All right, time for
Wait.
bottom.
Did Logan go?
Yeah, it went.
Oh, I didn't hear him. It's totally toned him
He muted you, so.
Yeah.
My bottom track, because I had to pick one, is Ode to the Sun. It's the first track. It's a good intro track, but it just, as a whole, it's not my favorite track on the album.
My bottom song is Jamais Vu.
My bottom was Saying Real.
Funny, mine was also Sang Real.
Fuck you guys. My bottom was Catch Without Arms.
I'm with him on that one, kind of.
Nope.
All right. So do we want to get into track 1? Get started.
Ode to the Sun.
Ode to the Sun.
Unless anybody has anything else, which we usually don't.
Sure. I gave Ode to the Sun a 7 out of 10.
I thought he was about to go off on something.
I gave it an 8.
I gave Ode to the Sun a 7.5 out of 10.
Give this a 7 out of 10.
Gave it an 8. That will be the lowest for the whole time, though.
Why did you give it an 8?
Like I said, comparatively to the rest of the album, I think it's a really good track, and it leads into the rest of the album really well, and they did a good job with it. But I don't know, man. The other songs on the album make me want to run through a wall, so they just get me hyped up.
Interesting, I guess.
Second half of the album gets me hyped up. The first half of the album is not so much. But
For me, I agree with you. I thought this was a pretty good start. I think it's a nice introduction to their sound. It really kind of eases you in. It lays some really good fundamentals for you throughout their track. It's nice.
I really enjoyed. Sorry, whoops.
That's not me.
You weren't ready. I really enjoyed
Ready to do nothing?
the high energy start of this album. It really does kind of lay a good foundation for everything that's going to happen. It gets you ready to go. And I really enjoyed the drum breakdowns. I just felt like the guitar parts may be a little simple at times in a few of the songs. They rely on some time-based effects a little too much sometimes, just for my taste.
Yeah, I really like this song. I thought it was a great way to start this off. And this was the song where I kind of realized that this was going to have a sound similar to the band Hail the Sun. And I love that band. So, minus their lead guitars, it kind of has Hail the Sun's rhythm guitar and drums almost on every song in this album. So I was very excited to hear that.
We ain't talked about the shitty part of this song yet, which is the mix, man. Love it or hate it, it's rough. It's not unlistenable, though, I think. I think it's got a lovely charm to it from 2005. There's a lot of song here, I think. Maybe not a lot of complex song, but there's a lot of song. It filled my headphones. It filled my head. The chorus was very fun. I do think you could have probably shaved an entire minute off of this song and lost almost nothing. But I didn't mind the time length, but I think maybe could use some tweaking.
I didn't note it yet, but I definitely wrote the mix was dated. I definitely agree with you
Yeah,
there.
I have a funny little anecdote. The first thing I said when I turned on this album was, "Oh God, this mix is dog."
I didn't think the mix was terrible exactly, but I noticed it in this song, and then I think I kind of adjusted to it for the rest of the album, because I mean it's consistently like this.
Oh yeah, it was the choice made. It's not.
I don't even know if it's a
bad.
choice made. It might have been just didn't know how to fix that or
So
know to fix that at all.
We talked about this earlier. We looked it up. It was professionally mixed.
Mhm.
Someone spent some time doing it. So again, I said, maybe it's got to be a style.
Came out on it came out on Interscope Records, so they came out with some
money behind it.
Yeah,
When did this album come out? Like 2004,
it was 05, 06
05? Okay.
area.
It sounds like
Yeah.
that era.
Yeah, it
you know?
definitely is.
It kind of sounds like some of the other like super songs from that era.
And it definitely reminds me of everything else, kind of what it's around the genre. It's funny, we talk about Deftones all the time, and Steven's going to be mad because he's not here to hear a Deftones adjacent band. But I definitely thought that listening to the whole album. All right. We ready to move on? Track 2 is Bug Eyes.
Yeah, this is like the single off the album, essentially. This was the one that had like the video, and they put all the marketing behind it and all that stuff. I gave this a big old fat 10. Mainly because, I don't know, the slide guitar in the beginning and the epic big build up, and the whole time he's playing, the drummer plays piano while he's playing drums, and the way everybody is like integrated, it just, the way they fill space has always been really, really cool to me.
Yeah, I thought this song was pretty cool too. We do numbers first, though. 7.5 out of 10. We're gonna do all the numbers and then we talk about it.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's all good. I gave this one 9.5.
I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
I gave this one a 7.5.
Hey, Logan, I'm right there with you, bud. I liked it. I thought it was
Also,
pretty neat.
yeah. Also, do not feel bad. This is like, I grew up. I'm sure we all have that album that like was huge as we were growing up, that we would all give 10s that some people wouldn't. So, don't feel nervous.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna feel bad because I did like this album a lot. So
We'll do it compliment sandwich style. Alex already spoke his piece. I'll go last. One of you guys.
oh,
I mean, I'll go real quick. Mine's really simple. I thought it had a pretty nice vibe to it, the way it was coming off. I thought it was really easy to get into this one from the first song. I know. I need to turn this more. And I felt kind of halfway through the song, while they were adding everything together, how they were laying more in the groundwork, that it felt like it sat in between genres in a really cool way. Like we were getting a really cool mix of different styles and choices and some nice variation.
I liked certain parts of this song way better than the song before it, but I think as a whole, and this is the reason for my score, I liked the first one better than this, if that makes any sense at all.
I'm on the opposite spectrum. I think I like this one more than the first one. But I get it. I think this is a very easy song to like zone to. I think I was listening to this song staring at like my computer screen, and then I was 2.5 minutes into the song with
That
no
happened-
notes to write.
That happened a lot later for me on this
It was
album.
like, but there was a lot going on. There was so much going on that all felt like it was supposed to be there. There felt like to talk about musicianship on this album is hard. I think I just had a hard time picking out a lot of like individual things, but you can tell there's like feeling and heart and like passion behind it, and that's what like counts the most. Almost music theory isn't shit when you can't play it, and if you can't put your heart into it, it really isn't shit. And you can feel the heart in this, and that's what matters.
There's definitely a lot of heart in this album. Yeah. I don't know. I think it gets a little. There are certain songs that definitely have more of that put into them. A lot of these arrangements were definitely made with that in mind. Some of the stuff they do, they definitely use some musical skills that are beyond someone in a general rock band. Some of it may get covered up by the combination of the mix and the soak and reverb, but some of the guitar parts are really cool. Some of the bass parts are really cool.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably my favorite part of the album, besides the high energy, is choruses are generally catchy. The drum tone is really good the entire album, and this is again the era I'm from, so I'm a sucker for it.
That's the drummer. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. The drum tone was really
Okay.
good. That was my whole point. I really liked the drum tone. I think that's why I got a 9.5. If a song has solid, good drums, I'm gonna rate it high.
Well, hell yeah.
All right, we'll go to track 3, which is "Catch Without Arms," the title track.
9.
I gave it an 8.
Also gave it a 9.
8.5.
5.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You better go, Logan.
Yep.
The honest answer is there's just a lot of shit that if I was in the studio would have added to this song. Like they need a high harmony on the vocal part, like almost the entire time. I feel like he really just picked the worst note to sing in the world. And then they have the lower harmony, which was the better note. They should have had that as their root, and they didn't. So then they didn't put the high on, and that made me mad. The chorus, I was just not in love with on this one. There was a cool key change. And then I thought the ending on this one was a little rough. I don't remember what it was, but I remember being like, there's 40 seconds of this, and I'm mad about it.
yeah, the ending was a little weird. I forget exactly what it is. It's one of those like weird droning kind of deals, isn't it?
It's that, or there's a clip at the end of this one. I can't remember. I'm so bad
wait,
about
I think
it.
it's the like
It's the-
inserted like voices.
It's the little kid singing.
Is
on
it
the
that?
other-
Okay.
Is that this song?
That's this one.
Yeah, that's this
Okay.
one.
Which is singing the chorus to one of the songs later.
Yeah.
But in a weird, high-pitched, creepy way.
Logan. Notes aside, the actual vocalist himself, the amount of effort coming through in this one, good lord, you could feel
Yeah.
you could feel the passion coming through in these vocals. Even if it isn't the best choice of melodic line, it's still great because you can feel that passion coming through. And also, I like the chorus in this one. Fuck you.
This one, I don't even 100% remember the chorus. I remember everything going on kind of in the background.
Hmm.
There's an accent guitar that's going nuts, and there's so many just not like effects, but just like little one shots behind everything. That was the big thing I noticed. There's also a perfect transition between this song and the last one. That happens a couple times on this album.
I don't know. I think you guys missed the biggest part of this song, and it's the clever lyrics. This song has some really clever lyrics, and again, it's really funny. I'm not the one that's usually listening to the lyrics, but they were super clever and well done. And Alex told me more about the backstory of it earlier after I had listened to the album.
Yeah.
And I think that made it even better.
Yeah, it's more just talking about like the music industry at the time and even now, and like how they're talking about how, I'm not your star, I'm not your saving light, I'm not going to fill your pockets when mine are empty. You know what I mean? It's like catching without arms, it's like, what's the phrase at the end of the sorry, I'm blanking. But yeah, that's what it's about. That was like the story behind the song and where those lyrics are coming from.
I do like the line "catching without arms." I think that's
Yeah.
clever. I like it a lot.
Cool. Yeah, I think we were talking about like the state of, not necessarily just their relationship with their label, but the state of the whole music industry
Right.
at the time, and the state of their genre,
Right.
and all that stuff. And when you listen to the lyrics, that makes total sense, because I actually wrote a note that like the lyrics were cool
Yeah.
in this one, and that's something you never see in my notes. So it's funny that I caught that one.
Right.
It's really cool. All right, we are ready for track 4, which is Not That Simple. You go.
Oh shit.
9.
6.5.
I gave this an 8.5.
I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
Carson, you're up.
This one
Defend.
was legitimately just here. It came and went. I didn't really pay attention to it, and that sucked. And that was the thing for me. I tried to listen to it like 2 or 3 times, and each time I just zoned and I couldn't really pay attention to it. I don't know what it was about it. It just, nothing was really grabbing out to me. It still sounded decent, but I just wasn't really grabbed by anything in this one.
This song, for me, kind of felt like they took the best parts of the last 2 songs and made like a super song out of it, and then put like the weirdest sample at the end of it that they possibly could have, which is the only thing that's docked at any points. So I really like this one.
Yeah, there are definitely some weird samples at the end of some of these tracks, just to make it a whole album. And we talked about this earlier. Super funny. It just was something that happened a lot during this era.
Yeah, like 2000, 2010, like 2000 through 2010. Happened a lot.
There's just weird like 15 to 30 second samples of stuff in a lot of these albums because it was just what was in vogue. But this one I wrote that it was weird.
Well, and if you look back on, like, if you look at their other catalog, if you guys ever take the time to do that, they write, the albums are concept albums. So they're meant to be taken as a whole. They're not meant to be taken in slices. So that's why things can be a little weird if you do. And
So I definitely recommend going and listening to a lot of their other discography. The albums as a whole are very strong, but even the singles are.
yeah.
It's funny. I didn't realize because I'd listened to this on YouTube, and a lot of the tracks have been played before because they play on my YouTube playlists when I'm listening and do that stuff. And I'd never realized that it was A, Dredg, or B, this album. So it was really interesting to me to see that I had listened to these tracks before, even though. So it's adjacent to a lot of other stuff that a lot of people really like. That being said, not that simple. I really liked the drums. It's really funny. It's a recurring theme.
Dino's the man, dude.
But it was this
Dino
really...
Campanella. What a man.
It had this really mellow intro, and then the drums come in, and like, because I was like, oh man, energy's down. They finally did a vibe track. I'm not going to like it. And the drums came in, I was like, nope, I'm still happy. I was like, I'm still good. I'm still good. Everything's still here. And then it does have a really nice driving bass line underneath it, too.
Yeah. I thought this was just very fun. The second it kicked off, it was just Vibe City, man. Today was the day for it. This was the right album for today. Right call. Very fun. There was also like some energy to this too, which was like kind of, I was like, man, I hope this song's over soon and we can get back to the energy. And then it did it in its own song. It was just great. Next song, please.
Sorry, I'm answering a comment. Sorry, the next track is Zebra Skin.
What are the comments?
What?
I can't read comments.
Oh
You guys
no,
are.
we're just watching we're watching it on YouTube.
All right, I gave Zebrason 7.5.
I gave it an 8.
I also gave it a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.
9.
I mean, I thought it was good. It's my top 3. But the first note on this song is, when the hell did I pop a pill? Because that intro makes you feel like you're tripping. Holy shit.
Jazz Lounge on acid.
Yep. And then I really, really digged the funk groove aspect of this song. It's something I love anytime it's introduced into a song. And this one just held my attention the entire time with it.
This song has joined the fight of my ongoing battle between good and bad electric guitars. This one's good. Or not electric guitars, electric piano. My bad. This one does it good. I like the electric piano here, and I think vocally I like this song the most on this album. I think it was done the best.
Yeah, I'm just going to read my notes verbatim. This is nice guitar-wise. Drums are overpowering. Vocals are solid. Beeps and boops and shit.
You love your beeps and boops and shit note.
Everybody loves beeps and boops and shit.
Who doesn't love beeps and boots?
I didn't think the drums were bad. I think they were just brought too far up in the mix. I think they could have been brought down. Is that or bring the vocals up, honestly? That was the problem. I was just trying to listen to lyrics and couldn't hear.
It needs more drums. Lyrics aren't important. No, really, I really enjoyed the jam of this. The only thing I felt like it got a little repetitive at points. So that's that was my only thing on this one.
Yeah, Jazz Lounge on acid. What's really cool about a lot of the piano lines so the drummer actually was trained for years as a pianist, so he actually plays a lot of it, and he actually wrote a lot of the parts so he could play them live while playing drums with it. So like he plays them a lot at the same time. But yeah, he'll actually like he actually wrote a lot of these parts to be played at the same time while he's on stage live and stuff. They do a lot of stuff. I was gonna say they do a lot of stuff very practical. They didn't really have a lot of. They don't really do a lot of like studio effect stuff. They do a lot of stuff very practically. Like it's all recorded with a mic, but it's all like real stuff, or like some of like the weird vocal stuff he'll do a lot with like a megaphone, and like I mean a track on one of their other albums, like he used a saw on a slide guitar to get a weird like wah sound out of it, and
I actually didn't think about that. We complained about the mix. It was probably all recorded together for the most part, except like maybe some of the guitar solos, and that would make sense because pretty much at that point you have what you have. I don't know. That may not be the case.
It may have been live. I'm not sure about that, but
this is another band that their live videos are awesome.
Yeah.
It's like this, just more energy.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with.
That's
Dredg
really
overall.
what I want. I either want more energy or more clean. And it's just caught in like a weird area of like good, but could use a little more or a little less.
And I think we had looked up who the producer was, and they were known for doing more heavier albums. And I think that could lead to some of the. It almost feels like there's canned energy in some spots of
super
it,
compression,
where it kind of feels like it almost like a punk album or something, where it's got some of that whatever to be raw, and maybe that's what we don't like. Maybe we're expecting it to be a little more polished for the.
See, I think it. Like I like punk a lot, and I like the raw feel. I think this has a lot of like 70s Van Halen style compression, when there's like a lot of distortion on it, and they just need it to not sound like utter ass. So that's what I feel like's going on, but it's not on the guitar part, because the guitar part sounds great. I think it's all on the vocals.
We're going to have to look up how this was recorded, because now we've talked about it for way longer than I thought we would. I didn't take any notes because I was like, oh, we're just going to mention it's an interesting mix and move on. So that's on me.
That was like half of my notes.
That's super funny. Speaking of notes, the next track is Tan Bark. The original title of which was The Tan Bark is Hot Lava. That's what I have written. So I gave that a 10.
I give it a 7.
Originally, I wrote 8.75, but I'm going to bump it up to a 9.
I give this a 7.5.
9.5.
Wow.
So
I'm the top.
can I speak an unfortunate truth? This is where I began to get a little fatigued of their sound, and it hit me like right in the middle of the song, and it definitely affected its score. Because for the first half of the song, I was like, this fucks. And the second half of the song, I was like, I wish it was just the first half. I wish the song ended halfway through. That way I didn't have the fatigue hit. But it started to... This is where their sound really started kind of digging in, that it all sounded like kind of similar-ish, and it started to mesh and meld. And I didn't have some of the other stuff that they've done in my repertoire to like, oh, this is a reference to this, or they're doing something cool here. I wasn't looking that far in.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Alex and I are definitely biased when it comes to liking the rest of the genre a whole lot. So that's probably why our scores are a little bit higher.
Yeah, I was like 3 when the song came out. So
I was in high school, and this, like, these were like really like transformative years for me in high school as a musician, and these guys were like the forefront of it. So I'm super biased.
And this also was very forward. I mean, this sound was the next 10 years in rock, probably, was a lot around this sound. I heard a lot of bands this reminded me of in the tracks, and I sat there and I was like, okay, so this reminded me of this. That came out later. That reminded me of this. That came out later. That reminded me of this. That came out later. And we were talking earlier that apparently Serge Tankian even talks about Dredg in one of his books, the singer from System of a Down.
I mean, they're a huge influence on a lot of the music industry. That they never got hugely popular, but they got definitely a big cult following.
Are they like the modern T-Rex? Like, I feel like T-Rex is one of those bands that was like big at one point and then was everybody you love's influence, but nobody knows about them.
So these guys too. So they were on Interscope, and they ended up on a lot of big bill tours, like Taste of Chaos and tour with Circus Survive and all these other guys. Like, and so they influenced a lot of those guys on tour and stuff. Like, I remember watching Circa while they were writing, I think it was Blue Sky Noise had on their like idea board, like Dredg sound like this, and Serge Tankian talking about them and stuff. And like, they definitely have influenced the music industry a lot. They just never got commercially big. So
Heck yeah.
Somebody else want to talk about Tan Bark? I can.
Yeah, is there a DL4 in this song? Is that
There's
what I was
definitely-
hearing?
it's
Yes,
gotta be. This
I
is the era.
love that. So you hear what sounds like trem picking, but impossibly fast.
oh no, so he
the
really is
delay.
like getting it, but yeah, no.
He's also got the DL4
but it's
on?
got but he's got
Okay.
delay running all over the place.
I thought he was just because I mean you can break those so easy to where you just kind of got to strum a little quick and it just sounds like a machine gun, and that's what's happening in this. I love it.
Logan doesn't know he looked at me while the delay king is sitting directly next to him.
You're the delay king?
Oh, yeah.
I only know that.
There you
Oh,
go.
there it is. I only know that because when I worked at said retailer, we saw a DL4 and you got really giddy about it.
Yeah, they're really, really fun. They're just front pedals.
Yeah.
And the new ones are not made of plastic, so it's even more fun. You don't break them every couple weeks. if
Those
you're on
foot
the road.
switches don't break all the time.
Oh, dude, the fireworks look sick. All right.
If only we could ever
Here,
do
hold
them,
on.
Carl.
I still gotta go. This was, I'm pretty sure this was my favorite on this album. Another good transition between this and the last song. This is not ripped straight out. I can name like 4 or 5 Hail the Sun songs this sounds exactly like, and I loved that. What?
I'm just happy that you're happy, buddy. Why can't I be happy for you?
I'm going home.
This isn't your genre.
You are home.
You said T-Rex, and I tried not to laugh because I'm literally
No,
like, Logan, get out
you
of the
guys-
70s, dude.
You guys missed the comparison. It was, is it like them,
No,
where they
no,
are
no.
known to just be an influence and not commercially super
No.
big?
Your comparison made total sense. It was 100% in character that you picked T-Rex to talk about. No. Your comparison was great. I haven't talked about Tambark either. The reason I gave this a 10, this was everything I wanted. It just started, and it had the energy. It had so much energy. And it had a nasty intro. It had nice bass riffs in between. It had a really nice drum part in the end. And then they hit me with these like prog rock hits almost at the end. And they didn't switch tempos or do anything crazy, but it was super well orchestrated. It was super clean. And I don't know. I just love this track. I was impressed with this album up to this point, and when I heard this, I was like, "Cool, this is one of those that I will pull out whenever I need it." And I'm ready to dig in and see some other stuff in its genre around it. So,
He's here.
oh yeah. Oh, Kate says hi.
I saw.
Oh, that's the comment.
My wife.
So- All right, so off of my biggest song into the lowest one, which is track 7, Sang Real.
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6.
I gave this an 8.5.
9.75.
This guy gets it.
I really liked the piano at the start. I liked how much variation it was bringing in. We hadn't seen a super upfront piano in this album yet, and I was like, yes, a break for my ears. And then, like, 30 seconds later, it goes right back to the original sound, which I was a little about. But I thought the overall song was pretty all right. It isn't until you get to the ending where I absolutely I
The giggles?
despise this ending.
Carson,
This ending is really, really bad.
our notes are exactly the same in different words.
Yeah.
I really, really like the beginning. The rest of it's good. The ending, way too much, way too long.
Yes. I wanted it to be over so quick.
I literally had a higher score that I scratched out to lower the score after the giggles came on. It literally, like, I would say I was upset. Like, maybe not visibly upset, but it upset me.
I had
love
this thing
it.
at like an 8 or a 7.5, and then the giggles dropped.
No, I
to
love
a
it.
6.
It's great.
I had this song at a 10, and then it dropped to an 8.5. You guys were so harsh about the little giggles, man. It's just like
Hey,
a
man,
minute-ass
If it creeps you, it
outro.
creeps you. You know what I mean? Like,
That's not the only reason it got
you
that low.
dropped it by a 1.5. I dropped it by 2. That's not too far off.
I do have it on here.
Yeah, but I
that-
dropped it from a 10. You were just that low already?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was an 8 before that.
So okay, so I did write there's a lot of effects across the whole mix bus on this track, and I think it's cool. It's just definitely dated. This is one of those tracks that, like, if you played this for me, I would have been like, yeah, this was made in 2005. So that was just one of the things. A lot of the effects they use don't have any staying power throughout time, but that's it. I think that's why it ended up at 8 and then a 7.
Scream at black. Scared me for a second.
What?
Thought we lost picture.
Oh, sorry. This guy's snooping on my phone and wonders
Who's
why
laughing?
shit does what it does.
you left?
I mean,
I'm just checking comments.
it's the piano break is what always like when I first heard that like at the end of the song like it's like the bridge part when like you have that whole shuffle beat going on the whole time and then that cuts and then that big piano line drops and then it comes back in and then they drop it again. I don't know. That part made me jump out of my seat the first time I heard it and definitely like I'm definitely looking through like nostalgia goggles on this album for sure, but like I just love it.
How do you excuse the giggles?
Do I excuse them?
How do you get past them? How do you listen to it?
I don't know, man. I may have been in a different state of mind when I listened to it when I was younger, more often than not. So the giggles were like, oh, he's creepy.
Oh, okay.
Those kind of giggles,
But like, I don't excuse him. I think again, it just goes back to like the concept of the album. Like the whole concept between this album is like opposites of like positive and negative and stuff like that. So,
Well, I'm glad you have the concept because I didn't catch it.
well,
That's
I've also like researched this band and loved this band for 20 years, and it's definitely like a part of like my person is just the band in general.
yeah,
so.
we all have bands like that.
Yeah. So it's just, but yeah, great song.
Yeah, he brought us a sacred cow, which is kind of scary.
I brought this second of El Cielo is actually changed my life, and I could not bring that one because I could not handle it if
Let me find this
Hey,
album real
if there were
quick.
negatives.
Don't ever feel bad. One time I brought on an album that was absolutely terrible for everyone else.
You mean
It
the
was-
first time?
Yeah, the first time I brought an album here, it was a
Very near and
really
dear to his heart.
it was something super important to me
Mm-hmm.
because it was like it was almost like slam poetry as they called it. It's like a low beat style
Yeah.
hip hop type
Yeah.
thing, but it's retelling the story of Theseus.
Oh.
No, Orpheus versus the Sirens.
Orpheus.
Okay, I was like
Yeah.
the ship of Theseus.
No,
We talk about that so often. For absolutely.
You want to
no
know what
reason.
the worst part about that is, Carson? Connor and I regularly have this conversation where I look at him and go, I wish we would review that now because I think that is a good album now that I've had time to sit on it.
Yes,
And I actually do
Sometimes
enjoy
things
it.
just grow.
And it's like, I was so harsh, but it's like, I get it now. I just get it now.
you have to get it.
That,
It
that
takes
definitely
time.
happens all the time with music, and when we do these kind of one-off reviews, sometimes stuff just has to stew.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
got to cook for a minute.
Tub Thumping, still the only good song out of Chumbawamba.
Okay, I agree with that statement. If you had said much else, I would have
I
disagreed.
don't know.
very
What about
hard.
what about drip, 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 Carson?
Fuck you. You don't understand. You don't
fell off a
understand.
ladder.
I fell off a ladder to that song, and I was laying on the floor, writhing in pain. All I heard in my ear was drip, drip, drip.
Drip, drip, drip was almost the soundtrack to Carson's death.
Oh God.
I'm like laying on the
What a
ground,
way.
fucking full Peter Griffin
What a way
fold,
to
you
go.
know.
Oh my goodness. So, funny enough, we went way off course. But while we were talking about the giggles, I thought about Next Gen when we did that. How long ago was that? A couple months ago?
Like
Who?
3 weeks ago.
Next Gen was 3 weeks ago? No.
Maybe like 5.
Wait, whoa. That was over a month ago.
Yeah, that was
over-
over a month ago.
It was not by that much.
It was September.
Yeah. Anyway, when we did
I
Next
also don't have a
Gen,
concept of time.
there were like long gaps and then robot voices. And I think I would prefer at least
way far.
it happened and they were over with rather than having a bunch of silence and then it scaring the crap out of me before the next track like it did on that album a couple times.
There was one time on the album where it was really bad.
Yeah, and maybe the little robot voice at the end of that album was supposed to be a hidden track, but
It was like 8 weeks. I was very wrong.
so I was dead on 2 months. Cool.
I'm very disappointed I missed that episode. I was at a show.
Oh, that's right. That was the one we did with
Yeah,
Max.
you showed up.
I did show up. I had a cameo. Came
Yeah,
in, talked my shit and left, as I do.
I still like that album too. So
Good day.
great. Next one, which luckily is devoid of creepy laughing, is Planting Seeds.
1 second. I had to go back.
Oh.
6.5 out of 10.
Gave it an 8.
6.5 out of 10.
Gave it an 8.
9.
this is where this album turns into like full blown Fushigi blender for me. Everything melts.
I don't even know what that
And
means.
it's you don't know what a Fushigi blender is?
Not even slightly.
Well, you see,
Dude,
the Fushigi's actually a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's what I
Fushigi's
was
the
thinking,
mystical
yeah.
magic ball. It's a ball floating
They
in
also,
another ball.
I know,
they
I'm
also
just
make
being
blender.
You guys keep saying Fushigi, and it's weird me out.
I have
I'm
to.
not gonna lie.
Okay, all
He's a
right.
different era.
I
than
will look for it.
forgot.
I have a Fushigi. I have one somewhere in a pouch, polished. I'll find it. I just have to dig. It's in a box. Nothing got thrown away in my 8 moves.
I begged and pleaded for a Fushigi ball for like literal years.
Dude,
The
my-
Super Fushigi Ball commercials went so hard.
The sad thing is as an adult, I can't buy it because it has to come from my parents, and I refuse to ask for it as an adult because
Okay.
I'm an adult and I
is
need
coming
real
up,
things.
brother.
I was gonna say, if I
You
point
wanna
your name
talk
for
about-
Secret Santa.
You want to talk about the saddest experience of my life? I was so hyped for this thing, and my grandparents are awesome. My grandma was like, "Yeah," she was like, "That looks cool. Do you want that for Christmas?" And so literally, it's just a ball in a ball, and the whole optical illusion is the way you hold it. And I was like, "You got to be kidding!" I was like, "There's no way. There has to be more to this. There's like a motor or batteries or no." It's just
Yeah,
a
it's
shiny,
about
shiny
the-
ball inside a clear one.
The glass sliding on your hand and the polished one looking like it's not moving is weird. I don't understand it, but it's funny and it looks cool.
I'll try to find it so you can get the experience. That was one of the weirdest rants we've ever
Right.
been on. That was awesome.
Anyway,
It's like those wiggle worms. man.
anyway,
I feel like we just got into.
blender for
I think
me.
we just got into a Fushigi. blender.
Everything starts to meld
Oh.
together and kind of get messy, and that happens particularly hard in the past like couple songs here. Sing Real was definitely that halfway through because of the fatigue, and because my fatigue was still riding strong, it all just, I was like, this sounds like every other song on this album. I'm gonna sit here and barely pay attention to it.
I don't know if I was having fatigue yet from it, but this one was kind of just fine for me. But the one big note I did have, the guitar in this sounds like something that I cannot place what it is, what it sounds like. If anybody knows,
I sent you a link to the Fushigi.
I'll talk about this song. There is not one part of this song that I did not find lovely. I think the only reason I couldn't rate this song a 10 is because I had nothing to latch on to. I feel like this to me was a vibe song. And unless it's like I'm 100% vibing, riding the vibes out, dancing, grooving, it's hard to get 10 as a vibe song. So that's why this got an 8. I think it was just a really good vibe song.
dude thinks he's Dylan.
Yeah, I am not the album book club vibe rater.
No man, the drum and bass interplay on this song is killer. Those guys always lock in really tight. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. The whole back half of the album for me is like super hype.
Sorry, my live messed up. I was catching back up.
You're looking for Fushigi on
No,
eBay or something.
no. They sell them on Amazon. They do still sell Fushigis. I sent them the link.
Quick aside, Carl finds everything on the internet within 30 fucking seconds. We go to buy a new record player. I buy one, and then he finds the exact model on eBay while we're walking to the car with it.
Yeah,
He's like, "You got a deal."
dude, I'm like a magician. I've been using the internet since I was like 10, and that was when it was first invented. So I know all the shortcuts. No, back to planting seeds. This guitar
Like Fushigi blenders.
Fushigi blenders, guitar blender magic ball. No, it kind of was just a wash of guitar. I think that's probably where it came from. But I did love the chorus. It was catchy on
Yeah.
this one. Does the next song
Fushigi.
remind you of Fushigis?
No, actually.
Okay, good. The next song is Spit Shine.
As you say, have you guys never heard that story? Of the
I
dude
gave it a 7 out of 10.
who had that?
I gave this a 9.
I gave it a 7.
I gave this an 8.
10.
Wow.
This whole back half of the album's a 10, just to preface it.
It's fair.
Okay.
It's
So.
so fair.
Well, we got to get the fireworks going on.
I can't tell.
You did
There
it.
he goes. You got it.
There you go.
It's weird. It thinks that most of the flag is part of him, so it's trying to put it behind the flag.
Neat.
For me, it was the reason this one got higher is because the beginning swapped it up. I like the vibe swap at the beginning. I very much needed it. But the ending spiked my tinnitus so goddamn hard. Like, this song ended, and it's just like, in my ear for a solid, like, 30, 40 seconds. And it's like, come on. I hate when that happens, but overall, the song was pretty good. You know, it's a well-made, well-produced thing.
So this song did my literal favorite thing in the intro. I just want to talk about it before I forget. It did the thing where the guitar is not where you think it is, where they make you think the guitar is on this beat based on its rhythmic pattern, and then when the drums come in, it pulls the rug out from under you, and the guitar was on the off beats the entire time. I absolutely love when it's nailed like that, and there's like 5 or 6 tracks I can think of that are that. They rhythmically pull the rug out from under you when the track starts, and it's one of the coolest ways they could have started this. So I think that's probably why it rated so high.
That's one of the things I wrote was like just how tight the drum and bass lock in on the groove when they hop in, and then the guitar is just lying kind of underneath everything. And I don't know. I agree with you.
Paused for some time.
You want it or you want me to get it?
Take it.
Look, you want to talk about quintessential 2005 track? This is it, dude. I was listening to this. I was like, I am in Sky High right now. Like,
Whoa.
like, this is 2005. The intro was, it was great. It's very fun if you like it. If you hate it, I don't get you. Chorus fucks. Everything's fun. And yeah, this is very dated, but I think in the best way. This was like, I was a child again.
I had to double check. I didn't know at first that Sky High legitimately came out in 2005 when you said that.
Yeah, it did, bro.
I was like, there's no way it actually came out in 2005. And then I checked, and I was like, God damn it, Logan, you movie buff.
Don't check me on that.
No, he's not only a movie buff, but a Sky High super fan. That was a very specific Logan reference.
Oh, I love Sky High as a kid, too. I thought everybody loved that movie.
So it's every movie with specifically Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but
Damn straight.
it's all right. More Logan facts we didn't know until today. I also love this song had a bunch of vibe changes, which I thought was really cool. I don't know. That was all I had in my notes.
I think this song would have got a higher score if this was not where my break in the album was. I left work after the song before this, so it kind of broke up the flow of this album a little bit. But no, I really like this song.
Flow.
Illegal
Uh-oh.
word detected.
Banned words.
It's not banned.
A band. We're listening to Dredge.
You're right. You're right.
God damn it.
Glad we're on the same page. Love you.
I completely destroyed. I'm sorry I derailed your train of thought.
No, I didn't. That was about it. I liked this song. Move on.
It's a
next
pretty good like allegory for how he left and then came back to the song and
Yeah. Yeah, this one had a bunch of changes. Did you have anything else we missed?
No, dude, I love the vocals in it, and like same thing with the intro and like how you guys felt about it. Like it just hits so hard.
All right. Next track is Jamais Vu, which is not in French. I was disappointed, but right.
I give this song a 6 out of 10.
Ouch. I gave it a 9.
I gave it an 8.
Give it a 6 out of 10.
10.
Let me get this out of the way
we knew
real
that.
quick. Thank you very much.
For me, it's basically that, but mainly out of fatigue. And I think this song sounds like it feels like I've heard this song 8 times and once with a piano. You know, that's how I felt about this song.
This one does remind me a lot of the songs on this album, but it reminds me of the ones I liked the most. So it had everything that I wanted everything I got from those songs. So I like this one a lot.
You know, I think I actually lied. I think this is the one with the intro that I like, where they pull the rug out from underneath you.
This is the one where the intro is completely out of tune.
Yeah.
And that is all I remember from it.
So I wrote, the last one had a catchy intro, and then I wrote this one had a puzzle piece intro. I need to be more clear in my notes. I think this is the one I was talking about, where the guitar doesn't fit rhythmically with the drums.
I think that was the last one.
Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe I just lost my mind when I was writing notes. I did like the tone of the guitar in the intro, which means I like guitars out of tune.
The puzzle piece on this one, I think, is they have one guy come in and then another guy come in, and then they slide into weird notes in between each other. It's goofy.
They like connect together like a puzzle piece.
Oh. Maybe that's where I was going.
Or like a smoothie in a
Fushigi blender.
Fushigi blender.
I wonder, did they ever put a Fushigi in Will It Blend? Is it too late? Do they still run that?
Next week on Album Build Club.
Building
build a
blender
fucking
that can-
Fushigi ball.
Building a blender that can withstand the Fushigi ball. We've got a turbine engine.
Hey, this is our lawnmower. We turn it upside down and put a fucking dome on it.
It won't cut a Fushigi. I'm telling you, the thing's heavy.
We just put a super like.
I'm pretty
bulletproof
sure it's a steel
dome.
ball bearing in like an acrylic ball.
That would make sense that it's like a 2-inch ball bearing or like a 3-inch ball bearing. It's solid, whatever it is.
It's awesome. That's what it is.
Well, now that
You know what else is awesome?
The Fushigi ball.
Song.
The next song? Okay. Well, yeah, we can do the
Are
next
we
song.
re-railing
say,
or
did
is
we
the merch
already
run?
talk?
Or merch?
That's what I was going to say, because I was going to say, you know what else is awesome? Our album book club merch.
I thought we were going on a merch run.
Yeah, that's what I was.
We do have one new piece of merch, and it's the flag.
It's me.
The prawn flag is back.
Yeah, you can order that guy. He comes with it.
You know, free Korean with every flag. Sorry, shouldn't say that.
Oh, that just so made the Monday Wednesday real.
Holy hell!
Sorry, as long as we didn't say it, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm of that ethnicity. I'm all right.
See, that's why I said that dude. I absolved myself from responsibility.
All right, now we should re-rail and forget talking about the merch. To
Hungover
on a Tuesday. Yeah, this
I give this one a 7 out of 10.
is 9.25.
7 out of 10.
7.5.
There was any real 10 I would give on this album, it's this track. This track makes me want to jump through a ceiling.
Is it because it turns into COD multiplayer towards like the end?
Maybe.
The music is like whoever wrote the COD music definitely stole this riff.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that COD music is like this, not the other.
Oh yeah,
way
that's
around.
what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
they 100% ripped it from this song. It is the same. The vocal cadence is so fun in this song. There's great energy. I do think that the guitar is just very minimal on this. It works.
But it drives the whole thing.
It does, but it's like I was like, man, I wish there was a ripping solo here, but this like single note shit's working.
I can maybe if I can get it to work.
Fuck,
Come on.
fuck,
Come on.
fuck.
It's not
Great
working.
podcast, guys.
There we go. There we go.
No, this was like 3 minutes of the last episode.
Oh, yeah, it's like the
Making
last
fireworks.
5 minutes.
I wonder how many more is in there that we don't know about.
Oh my god.
For me, I thought the song was really nice. Actually, I have 2 scores for this. The 7 out of 10 is its place in the context of the album because I feel like it's hurt by its placement. I actually think I would like this one more outside of this context, where I'm not fatigued and it's not at the very end. We just get very kind of the variation in the album is you get a lot. You can like it a lot more when you're used to this type of music, and I'm just not one of those people. I don't listen to a lot of this genre or this era, so.
Wow, I'm in an era now. Did you hear that?
See,
Sure,
I
Carl.
listen.
I mean, next year it will have been 20 years ago. So yeah, that's
I'm
an
aware.
era.
I'm very well aware of it.
I listen to a lot of this music,
Very well aware.
or a lot of this era. Just not a lot of new metal side. I'm on like the emo or like Black Eyed Peas and Fergie.
See, that's
side.
where I'm
That's the
at.
side.
You
I
know,
like
that's
that
why.
stuff, too.
That's why I mentioned genre.
I think everybody
first.
likes
Yeah.
that shit.
It's fine. It's just my 15-year reunion next year. No big deal.
Shut up, Carl.
This track though had really good energy.
Yeah.
That's it. The
Makes
track
me want
was
to run
just-
through a wall.
It was just energy. No, it should be your 5. No, you're behind. Yeah, okay.
I moved it.
That's right. Sorry, we're almost exactly a decade apart in age. That's why. It's 3 days off. That was it. That's all I had.
Yeah, I talked about it.
Who's left? Everybody talked
I
about
think
it?
everybody went.
Wait.
Wow. Alright.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I
Most
totally. I
likely
went
didn't.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
COD music. Hell yeah.
Wow, we suck. Mostly I suck. I'm being a terrible host tonight, guys. I apologize.
It's okay. You
Now
were
we're actually
It's okay,
making
you didn't know about it
great
until-
time on this episode.
You didn't know you were hosting until about an hour and a half ago. So
Oh, that's fine. All right. Last track is Matryoshka, and is
The Ornament.
subtitled The Ornament. So,
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
also an 8.
8 out of 10.
Peer pressure 8.
10.
I'm not peer pressured into that.
You don't need to be.
Yeah, no. My first note on this is, hey, the ending actually starts as an ending. It's different from what we've been hearing the entire album, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, an actual ending. I thought we were going to do the same song again.
Nope.
Didn't. It sounds truly different up until we get into some of the rhythmic stuff, but the rhythmic stuff has been neat throughout the whole album. Really, even after the fatigue that I hit, I thought this song was really good.
Yeah.
I think this one pulls through.
It's different enough that it wouldn't even contribute to that fatigue at all. And I think it's a great way to end this album. There's not really a wind down, but I don't really think it needs it at
No.
all.
I definitely felt like this was a wind down, especially after the
With all
last
the-
track.
Well, yeah, but there wasn't like one to lead into this track.
Oh yeah. This
You didn't like
this-
any of that?
This track kind of like pulls you back,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what it's funny because I talked about how high energy this album has been the whole time, and it felt like this track was slowing me down to bring me back into real life, I guess.
This is the anchor.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
it throws that anchor down and drags you down.
legit, I listened to this whole album and I was like, oh, it's been like 10 minutes. How did I get through the whole album? I had trouble taking notes because I was going through the tracks so fast. It was nice to have it. It almost like pulled me back into reality or something.
Yeah, I had to listen to this song twice. The first time, I heard it clicking towards the end, and I actually thought my headphones broke. And I was pissed because I just bought them. So I was like, I'm about to get on Amazon service. I had to stop the song in the middle of the clicking, go turn on a new song, make sure it was fine, and then come back to this. I originally gave it a 7 and got peer pressured into an 8 because I accidentally did not write a score for this song. I moved on to writing my other scores for the end. So I wrote 7 just based on the notes I had here, and then everyone said 8, so then I felt like I had to do that one.
Oh, you keep those at the bottom where it makes sense to keep them.
Yeah, I changed it because I started to like hate that I could never find or remember anything I've said about any of the podcasts, so now I have notes for everything. So if you want me to be a hater on something weeks later, I can do that for you.
Yeah, it's the only way I survive is by taking paper notes. I wouldn't remember any of this. Speaking of the end, though, the end of this track, I'm not sure it needs to exist. I wasn't happy with the little piano outro. I think that's why it ended up an 8 instead of a 9. But we'll let Alex go.
I had a lot of the same. I've always had a lot of the same thoughts. Like it like pulls you back to like a center space because like it is high energy. There's a lot of rhythm stuff going on. There's a lot of like walls of sound that, you know, again, are my favorite parts of it. But again, I can understand how it can be a lot, especially if you're not used to listening to stuff like that. But I think this song, especially because it introduces like an acoustic guitar, which you haven't heard the whole time, and just different sound elements that weren't in the rest of the album, kind of brings you down, relaxes you. And that's what that's honestly one of my favorite parts of the little piano ending. Again, it's just more of that mellow die out. And yeah, I love it.
Cool. That brings us to... I almost said the wrong thing. Pacing.
He almost got fired.
I almost got fired. Yeah, I almost said the wrong word.
Insta-fire.
Yeah, I would have been eviscerated. I would have evaporated out of this chair. Someone would have snapped their fingers like Thanos. Sorry, I disappeared. I had to come back. I gave it a 9 for pacing.
I also give it a 9.
I give it an 8.5 for pacing.
8.5.
9.
Damn near perfect. You know, that's how I feel about it. And even though some of my ratings were low on these songs, and I got fatigued, they all just they're so well weaved into
Right.
each other. Some of that blending, if I had more experience with like this genre from this time, I feel like it would be a lot less like blender and more. Oh, these are cool different pieces and
Right.
references to other things.
I just felt like some of the transitions were cheesy. I think that's the only reason it didn't get a 10. You know, some of the samples they used or some of the whatevers, and even if this,
The laughters.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna
Best
bring
medicine.
it up. But it's a product of its time, and listening to it today, that was the thing. It was some of the way the tracks flow was a little just cheesy. That was all.
Yeah. All I had was that some of the outros were long. Like, that's really the only thing holding it back.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You put this on a rainy day and me in a sweater. This is a 10 out of 10 on pacing, man. This is the best 52 minutes of my life in that situation. But in today's situation, it was just a pretty good 52 minutes of my life. And that's pretty great.
This album is 100% the perfect length, though, to get a good
Oh,
pacing
oh,
score
yeah.
from
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is nails. It's 12 tracks, not too many, not too short. It's the right length to keep all of our, I guess, attention spans, even if our ears got a little tired. So that, I mean, we all gave it really high scores, and that's a lot of the reason.
I love that you can listen to this in an hour and then have 8 minutes to still do what you want to do in that hour.
Or to do breathing exercises to make you not want to punch through the wall any longer. Depends on what mood you're in when you listen to the album.
It's very true.
You know who should take notes on that? Janet Jackson.
What?
Janet Jackson's album was like 24 songs in an hour and 45 minutes.
I was like, what is happening?
Wait, no.
If we reviewed the full version, it was going to be like 3 hours
I would say
long.
it was longer than the runtime of Titanic, which was concerning.
Man, you guys threw one right over my dome. Like it was.
No, I thought he was going to say the Kool-Aid Man likes to punch through walls, so I'm glad.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a Zach reference.
Yeah.
Reference to maybe the worst Album Book Club episode.
I think there's worse.
All right, speaking of Zach references, I'm just kidding. That doesn't tie into anything.
He walks in the room.
Yeah, I accidentally summoned Zach. Run to album art.
I give the album art a 7.5.
I gave this one a 6 just because I don't think I got it.
I gave it a 7.
I give this a 6.5.
8.
Is this their logo?
Yeah, it's so the bass player does a lot of the artwork and all that stuff, and it's all weaved into, it's all conceptual, and it's all weaved into like the story that they're trying to weave and tell and all that stuff. And then the logo is like actually like there's a few of them, but that's like I think it either changes a little bit per album or like, but yeah, that's what it is.
So for me, I think the logo's neat, and I fucking love bugs. So having a couple bugs on there, sick.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Bug Moment. Thank you.
I was gonna say,
was
do you live
gonna-
in a
yeah.
Thank you,
moment?
Bug Moment.
Mhm.
That's funny. Oh, sorry. I just said meh. I literally just have meh next to the album art. And it's just
Kind of
because-
based.
It's because I was like, man, I didn't get it. You know, I didn't understand that it was like a band member did the art. I don't know, man. Green is just not my thing some days, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why, but I think this green works for this album, and I don't know how to explain that sentence further. Yeah, I thought it worked really well for what this album was.
I think this is the ugliest fucking green I've ever seen in my life. Move on.
No,
It's a little bit baby shit green.
Yeah,
you know?
it's gross.
So this is funny. So the two musicians, well, Alex counts too, but Alex's opinion isn't necessarily valid on this particular album.
That's true.
Being like, when you get to a certain point in music, you get like mild synesthesia. So like you would legitimately like you associate sounds with colors at certain points, because the whole thing is you kind of go, oh well, I need this to sound like this, but more like purple.
This color is someone sneezing.
Right.
I
and-
can't explain that to you, but that's what this
so,
is.
fair.
So like this shade of green just wasn't the vibe I was expecting for this album, and it's not necessarily a red. It's not like an angry album.
No, it's like an orange.
Yeah, maybe an orange. It's got some heat, you know.
Like the middle of the prawn stash flag. You know, that orange in there.
Mm.
I can see that.
Man, those are pretty colors. It's almost like somebody professional did that flag.
Oh, yeah, we paid somebody to do that.
Yeah.
No, we did not.
No, it's actually quite hilarious how that one was done. If you take my design and then put a giant shrimp in it.
And then you make half the shrimp just super, super. I think I put it at like 15% opacity, and I traced the mustache pieces over the shrimp.
Correction on that. Not my design, the design I'm wearing.
Ooh, Logan's wearing
taking
designs now. Do you hear that? It's red carpet out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got Gucky on.
Who are you wearing?
Gucky? Versace?
Album book club featuring Gucky.
I believe his name is Claude.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you can't see.
No, you
me?
can't see Claude at all this week. There's no comments about what it is lurking in the corner.
The saggy
We could probably
wiener
get him
the
in there if we
corner.
wanted to.
There's a nibbit of him in there.
A nibbin. There's a nibbin.
got a little.
A little nibbin.
He's got room to tilt.
He's got a room to tilt. Oh,
Him
the
slowly
Band name
moving.
walk.
Into
corner wiener cam.
Band name
There we
Room
go.
to Tilt.
Is he
I
what?
don't think you could say that.
Is he what, Carl?
He just said, "Is Claude coming?"
Sorry, I was just seeing something creeping up behind me on the monitor. It made me uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Our viewers probably went up because he wasn't in frame, and now we just shot that back down.
My favorite thing is that he has had this Christmas hat on
I can't
since
even see it.
after last Christmas when mine accidentally got left on him. And then we have left it on since.
I think it's been visible in maybe 2 episodes since last.
Now it looks like we're
Christmas.
those
Yeah.
people who do Christmas right after Halloween.
Yeah, but in actuality, it's we do Christmas at the proper time and then didn't take it down.
Except no one has any idea what we're talking about because we have no Claude Cam this week.
That's true.
That is true.
We don't have room for Claude Cam this week.
No, also last time we ran Claude Cam, it was like running like a CRTV on a bamboo pole. Bro, it's not the move.
Oh God.
Speaking of Zach Anderson, no, I'm just kidding. That has nothing to do with it.
The Yapcast is
Gonna walk
strong
in and
enough.
All right. We're on to overall if we decide to get back to the album here.
Probably should.
We're in overalls?
Overall, I give this album 7.5 out of 10.
I gave this one a 9.
I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I have an 8 written down, but I'll give it an 8.5.
9.7.
Damn, I really gave it the lowest. I guess it's just because of how fatigued I got. It might not have been the best day for me to listen to this. I'll have to try again on a different one. Seems like you guys really liked it.
I
Well,
think it's just
you're-
out of genre for you, man.
That too.
Like, I mean, you're talking about bringing us hip hop albums, and then we're like, yeah, here's this like 2000s like alternative rock kind of like staple album for Alex.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, here's Orpheus versus the Sirens.
Exactly. It's just it's out of your realm.
Here's slam poetry performed by a rapper underneath a different name.
I love all different kinds of music. It's just when Carl asked me to bring one in, I was like, okay, I want to do something that I like really like, but I want to do something that I can handle criticism on, and I want to do something that everybody would be probably vibe to at least a little bit.
I'm gonna say that
So-
first part's usually a mistake.
Yeah, no. Like I said, if I would have brought El Cielo in here and you guys made any comment, I probably would have gotten upset. But it's okay. that album really is sacred to me, and I chose not to do that for a reason.
I literally prefaced it by saying, don't pick one you like too much because we probably won't. So it's just very
It's
normal.
how it always works.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine, man. We all have different opinions,
Mhm.
but I want to bring something people could vibe to.
I brought Polyphia for these guys with the most fear in my heart.
I love Polyphia.
I was like, I
Absolutely
love
love
Polyphia.
Olympia's sick.
Brought Remember That You Will Die, and everyone liked it. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, absolutely love Polyphia.
Oh, alrighty. Anything more to say about the album?
I loved it. Just the mix was a little dated. That's the only problem for me. Is like, hopefully some of the older stuff we looked it up earlier. Dredge has got a new album either out or on the way.
It's on the way. It's coming sometime, probably beginning of next year, into this year, which should be soon.
So
You'll have to come back.
I'm super stoked. I will preface it though. Their last album was not my favorite.
Yes, we can shit on the next one.
No, it was Mr. Chuckles and something Squeezy. Can't even remember it. It really like left my brain. It left my continuity. I'm not even gonna lie. And I love this band, but it definitely was not.
Not their best.
Yeah.
we've got plenty of reels this week.
Chuckles and Mr. Squeezy is what it's called.
There you go.
The album art's kind of
What a name for cats
I'm
given by
It's
like
terrifying.
a 45-year-old.
Whoa, it looks like
single woman.
scary.
It's
I
horrifying.
don't like that.
I love that. That
It's
is
kind of
sick.
fucking sick.
I'm listening to
That
that
looks
later.
kinda
Yeah,
like-
go for it.
It looks
It's
like
very
reggae.
different. It's still Dredge, but it is very different.
That looks like
This one's labeled
I like
alternative
this.
instead of rock.
I'm gonna
Looks like
listen
horror
to them.
dope
Check them out.
That is correct.
Alrighty, I think we're going to talk about what are we listening to next week?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good album next week too.
Yes, it is.
Remember the band? I don't remember
Fushigi Magic. No, I'm just kidding.
Shiggy ball.
Yeah, I'll bring mine next week. We'll just hum underneath it.
I was about to believe you that that's what it was called. I didn't.
With that band, would not be surprised.
Sorry, he didn't say, Origami Angels, Somewhere City.
Such a good album.
Woo! It is a good album. Great band. We're gonna have our buddy Anthony on. He's a great time. Hopefully you guys enjoy him. Hopefully you guys come back for our next video next Thursday. Check out our merch.
8:30-ish.
Don't forget
See.
to like, subscribe,
Comment,
that
share,
stuff.
hit the
Yeah.
bell actually, because you want to know when that part 2 drops for guitar build album build club.
We haven't talked about Build Club at all, so we
Yeah,
did
we
that
haven't.
new series today. So, any comments you guys want to leave us on kind of that direction or anything, let us know by all means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what should we build?
That too.
What else do you want to see? We've got time.
I think after this,
Not
they-
really, but the ability to make time sometimes.
I think after this, they want to see us put a Fushigi ball in
In a blender, yeah.
That video would go so hard.
That's what Patreon's going to turn into.
Yeah, there's two things. Our Book Club Premium Will It Blend and Yapcast. That's all that is on.
and Waverly. We got Waverly.
Oh yeah, we got Waverly.
So we built a blade out of tungsten to try and cut the fushigi. Did not work.
Not to
probably-
mention random movie cuts. We're gonna recut,
Of course.
recut
Random movie
movies.
recuts, Mystery Science Theater. It'll be a great time.
Should probably call it here.
I
Should
have
probably call
access
it
to a
here.
plastic
See ya.
cutter.
What? What'd you say?
I said I have access.